Good morning. This is Adam Resner with Olive Real Estate Group, and today I'm going to talk about the Space Force and what it means for Colorado Springs. So, for those of you that don't know, President Trump put out an executive order to create a new branch of the military called the Space Force, and it would be analogous to the Marine Corps, in that the Marine Corps is its own branch, but it's within the Navy. The Space Force would be a new branch within the Air Force that would consolidate all of the different space units in the military today. So the Pentagon's looking at 6 different locations right now. 4 of them are in Colorado, 3 are in El Paso County. Those would be Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Station, Schriever Air Force Base, and Peterson Air Force Base. It's important to remember the government is mandated to look at multiple locations for something like this, even if they have no intention of moving to a few of those locations. So we saw this last year. The 2nd Brigade Combat Team at Fort Carson, 4,400 soldiers. It was announced it was going to transition from a light brigade, so Humvees, stuff like that, to a Striker Brigade, the 8-wheeled armored vehicles called Strikers, and looking at moving it to a different base where maybe it would make more sense. They looked at bases in Texas, Georgia, Kansas, and Fort Carson as well, and ultimately decided to keep them here because it would have cost over $200 million to move them for not much benefit. So how does that relate to the Space Force? Well, they're looking at a base in California, they're looking at a base in Alabama. California, the local residents have already pushed back before on expansion. They don't have the support there. Alabama loves their military, but they don't have the facilities to house a Space Force currently. The base, 2 of the bases here, Schriever and Peterson, already have the facilities for something like this. The Space Command, which is different than the Space Force, I won't go into that here, but that's already coming here temporarily. It's probably going to stay here. We already have a bunch of space-focused units that may get rolled into the Space Force. On the Army side, Space Brigade, STRATCOM, Space Missile Defense Command, and then the Air Force Space Command is already here. Like I said, we have the facilities, and we have a ton of support here. So it's probably coming here to Colorado Springs. Just a question of which base it's going to be at. I'm actually part of STRATCOM, which might get rolled into the Space Force, which you would think I might learn about this before the news does. Probably not, but anyways, we should get a final decision this summer on the location of the Space Force, and then they're still working out the components of it and how many people are going to be a part of it. But in any case, it's going to mean lots of new jobs, military and contractor jobs, and people moving here and the growth that comes with that. So just an additional growth driver for Colorado Springs. So that's great news. If I hear any updates in the next few months, I'll do another video and kind of update on that. But any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.